as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense.
Get him! Get him! Sponge! No!
Back to the air. Haskins after the pick six. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. First down, here's a run with Peterson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Haskins. And this is hauled in by Matthews. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 14 yards.
How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st down, it's Haskins. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Haskins will throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to get it to AP out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and short.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear.
Here we go.
It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
11.
Garoppolo now. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season. Really came on late.
Here we go.
Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. Breida, he'll try to right side. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Haskins. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. 13 yards there and a Niner 1st.
1st down, San Francisco.
Here we go. Black 80!
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On play action, now Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Slings this deep from McLaurin, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Third down. Here's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And finally taken down to the 25-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taking it about the 36. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Throwing now. Haskins on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan. Alexander.
His guys take over first and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Don't get nervous. Check your hot read. Check three.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And some room to maneuver. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
56. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off.
From the gun, it's Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here we go. Hey, watch the ball.
Now it's Breida. And some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Now the ball comes loose, and the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them.
And this is going to be intercepted. And I think the ball's out. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Here we go. Damn.
Now Keenum. And this one complete to Reed. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Watch the safety creep. Take two.
Keenum. Then he hits his man, Matthews. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Damn. Undercrush.
Now Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. D Ford able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Keenum now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
On second down, it's Peterson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Watch the shit. Watch the shit. Watch the shit.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Nick Bosa in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They run with Breida, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No.
Here's Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Niners on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, Alpha. Come on, the ball. Go ahead.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this will be taken at the 13. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now a first down throw. Keenum. And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Keenum. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Stand down. One set. Check, Mike. Hey, Delta. Mike, 54. What's right?
A shotgun snap for Keenum. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Breida. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Room to run again. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And now it's blocked. And the Redskins have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys just spent a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 41, Keenum. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Complete. Richardson has it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Redskins have the 1st down on a pickup of 18. Out of the gun, Keenum. His throw incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice. or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
12 yards there and a first down. Here's Keenum to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run again with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. On third down, a run from Breida. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Niners, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.